Does pay for delete work with charge-offs? Have you ever wondered if paying off a charge-off can actually help clean up your credit report? This is a common question for those dealing with credit card debt management. Let's break it down. First, let's clarify what a charge-off is. A charge-off happens when a creditor decides that a debt is unlikely to be collected, usually after 180 days of non-payment. This status is reported to credit bureaus and can seriously harm your credit score. Now, the concept of pay for delete comes into play. Pay for delete is a negotiation tactic where you offer to pay a debt, either fully or partially, in exchange for the creditor or debt collector removing the negative information from your credit report. When it comes to charge-offs, this can sometimes work, but it is not a sure thing. If the debt is still with the original creditor, you can try to negotiate a pay for delete agreement. This means you would directly communicate with the creditor and offer payment in return for the removal of the charge-off from your credit report. It is vital to get this agreement in writing before making any payments. If the debt has been sold to a third-party collection agency, you can still attempt pay for delete. These agencies often buy debts for less than their original value, so they might accept a lower payment and agree to remove the charge-off. However, keep in mind that these agreements are rare and depend entirely on the creditor or debt collector's discretion. They are not legally required to remove accurate negative information once reported. Legally, pay for delete exists in a gray area. The Fair Credit Reporting Act requires that creditors and collectors report accurate and complete information. Removing a charge-off in exchange for payment can conflict with this requirement. Because of this, many creditors and debt collectors choose not to offer pay for delete agreements to stay compliant with credit reporting laws. If you decide to pursue pay for delete for a charge-off, here are some steps to follow. First, negotiate directly with the creditor or collector. Second, obtain a written agreement that specifies the charge-off will be removed upon payment. Third, be aware that the creditor or collector is not obligated to agree to your request. Lastly, understand that newer credit scoring models may view charge-offs differently, which can sometimes lessen the impact of pay for delete. In summary, pay for delete can work with charge-offs, but it is uncommon and not guaranteed. It tends to be more effective when negotiating with original creditors rather than third-party collectors. Always document any agreements in writing before making payments. Creditors must balance their desire to collect debts with their legal obligations to report accurate credit information, which limits the use of pay for delete for charge-offs.